Hey friends, PieCrust here. Today I've got something wild for you. We're on our way deep into the jungle with this cozy Sims build. Stay tuned for the fun drinks, lush foliage, and secrets down the basement. Let's get building. We're here in Tartosa today, and this is a map that came with the My Wedding Stories expansion pack. Now I know a lot of people don't actually like this expansion pack because it had a lot of bugs when it came out, and actually for quite a few years there were quite a lot of bugs with this expansion pack. So I was a bit worried about getting this one. However, there was actually a bug fix release, and from what I understood, a lot of the bugs were fixed. Do let me know how that went, if you actually played with the interactions the game actually has at the actual wedding event. Do let me know how that goes, because I have not had the chance to test that so far. However, I pretty much got this expansion pack for the build items because the build items are actually one of my favorite build items. For example, the plants are so gorgeous, so I really had to get the expansion pack because I was sold on those flowers that came with it. So I'm just going in now with the building itself, and I actually had a plan beforehand, and I drew actually a plan of the building, and then I went ahead and created it, because usually when I just try to create from reference or just look at a couple of reference images, I might not get the building right as well as I would when I actually create a plan. So I'm trying to create plans from now on to see how I can make these builds a bit more fun and just a bit more creative, I would say. And here I am just figuring out what kind of windows I am adding here. So you will see me use a lot of these eco lifestyle windows and also tiny living ones, because I think those go super well. I wanted to bring in a lot of sunlight, and also I want the plants to be visible from the outside so that we can look at this building and have that serene, peaceful moment and just feel like this is a very, very zen building. Basically, that's it. And now I'm just still doing the same thing with the windows, and while I'm doing that, let me just tell you how I got inspired to build this build. So I was playing last week a new game that came out. It's called Urban Jungle, and I actually did finish that game, and I did record a part of it, and I have a video on it on my channel as well. You can also check that out as well. It is a more cozier, vibey video, so you could like put it on as a background video that you can listen to. So anyhow, this build is inspired by that game because it's a game where you have a little bit of a story going on, and also you end up decorating different rooms with plants only, so you don't build actually, and you don't use any other decoration items but plants. And then I felt really inspired to create sort of a jungle cafe. We also have the businesses and hobbies pack that came out, so I was thinking about a cafe, and when I played the urban jungle game, it feels like it clicked, and just something told me this is what you have to do next. And yeah, I did it, and I also wanted to share with you guys, and I really, really hope you like it. And also, if you feel like playing the game Urban Jungle, I do recommend it if you like cozy games. It was really fun. I ended up collecting all the plants, and I just decorated the rooms. I even played a bit of the free mode after the story was over. It also has really nice soundtrack and just really super cozy story. It's at the beginning, it might be a bit like, maybe it feels a bit sad, the story, but don't worry, it's not going to keep the same mood It's more like a chill story, I would say, but no other, I don't want to like spoil it, so I'll stop right there. So here I am just adding the windows, still adding them all around, and I didn't want to keep this part because I wanted to show you how I went about it. And I'm just going to add some stairs also, because we need some stairs over here. As you can see, you can't enter otherwise, and this is when I was thinking about the bridge. So we will have a bridge that the sim can cross to get onto the other side and actually access the jungle, and we'll get there soon enough. And I was thinking how to get around the bridge, because I know there are some bridges in debug mode, and I'm actually curious, and do let me know, because I don't know. Can you actually add those debug bridges to your world, and are those functional, or will your sim just pass through them, or maybe just won't be able to pass at all because they will just think that there's something there and blocking their ways? So I'm curious, do let me know, can you use the debug bridges? I'm very curious. So I'm just going in with the roofing. Apparently I thought we were doing the bridge next, but no, I remembered the roofing was not done here, so I went in with that. And this is going to bring back a little bit of the botanical garden build vibe that I did, Kew Gardens. So Kew Gardens is this huge botanical garden in the UK, and I have built that on my channel before. So that's what I am doing right now, to kind of channeling the botanical garden vibes also here. And you may be saying, if you're a returning viewer, that you build a lot of botanical builds. Well, yes, I kind of do. I create a lot of botanical garden builds apparently, because that's what inspires me, and I really love plants, and it's really fun. So yeah, I ended up doing again a similar build, but at the same time it's very different, I would say. And here I'm just going in with more windows, and soon enough we'll be done with this part and we'll start with the landscaping, which will be quite fun. I had a lot of fun with the landscaping. I am one of those people, and I always say this, that adores landscaping. So for me, landscaping in The Sims is just on top, like up there, like really, I don't know what else I like as much as landscaping. Like, it's one of my favorite things, basically. I love the plants. I bought expansion packs like My Wedding Stores because of the plants. So I was super excited to get there and just get my hands dirty, I guess, with building outdoors. So soon enough I'll be doing that, and I will refrain from using hydrangeas. I know if you've been here before, you might know that I kind of have this obsession of using hydrangeas in my builds, but in this build I will not place any of them, because I wanted to limit myself sort of and not use hydrangeas, and I do miss them a bit. So in the future I might go in this build and add some more, and add some, because we don't have any. Here I actually had a hard time. You will not see it in the video, but it took me quite a while to figure out how to connect the bridge with the other side. And basically you have to make sure that this bridge part is actually the same size as the building, so then you can actually connect the two parts. So if you run into this issue, you'll have to make sure that the building itself is the same size as your bridge, and then you can connect the two and you won't have any other issues with it. So I just added these nice little sort of like pillars. I don't know what they're called under the bridge, so it looks very nice and calming, and it kind of does give that vibe of, you could find this in a more jungly setting, whatever that means, but I hope you do understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm adding all these wooden elements, and I'm just trying to stick with this orangey windows with like the gray and sort of this brown, dark brown pillars, and just underneath the building I made it all like I used those darker brown stones. So that's kind of the color scheme I'm going for. And I'm adding some fences, and I'm trying to just think about what's going to happen next, because I did plan out the layout, but I didn't have an actual plan for the full landscaping. But I'm just going in with palm trees. Of course, you might say that I have added a bunch of palm trees in all of my builds, and apparently I am a big palm tree fan, and I was very excited that in this build I could use even more palm trees. So I thought that we'll have a little island situation going on here, and I have added a little chest there that I thought that could be really cool, like just a little homage to like a hidden treasure, or like a treasure island maybe. So that's what's happening there. And also just some plants, and I really adore this palm tree that kind of like hangs onto the side. That's so pretty. And here you'll see me just going around the pond, and as I've been saying in my previous videos, it is a really good idea to go around your pond. It will really level up its look by just adding more plants around it, so you can play around with what you choose. And I'm just figuring it out here. I'm trying a couple of different plants, and you'll see that I'll be using a bunch of ferns. So my recommendation for you is to just try out, play around with what you have, and you'll see that you'll quickly find your favorites, and then you can just use those in case you don't feel super adventurous. However, you can be as creative as you want, because it's just a game, so it's really fun to just explore your creative side, and you never know what you'll find out really next time. You might find something interesting and you'll have that aha moment, like, oh man, I didn't know this thing would go so well. Yeah, and then you just figure that one out, and it's really fun. I feel super excited when that happens. And that actually I will have one of those aha moments soon enough. I think in a couple of minutes maybe, but I'll show you in a bit. So I'm just adding also these bushes, like this shrubbery, that green kind of roundish one. I thought that would look pretty cute and cool over there. And this is the aha moment. So I placed this big leafy plant into the other one and kind of turn it around, and it looks more like it's fuller and more cuter and more just real to me, because before it seemed like it's missing something, like it was so empty somehow, and you can just like see through it, through those leaves. So I think this is a cute addition. What do you think? Do you like it this way? So I'm adding more ferns, which I absolutely adore, and also I added some lavender plants into that left corner, because I thought it brings in just some nice purple onto that end. However, as you can see, I'm trying to minimalize the plants that I'm adding. And I know I'm ranting about plants now, but please do bear with me. I adore plants. So I'm just adding here a bunch of plants. However, I'm minimalizing the types of plants I'm using. I'm trying to go for that jungly feel. At the same time, I also added some lavender where I thought it would match it well, and I'm kind of keeping it in theme. At least that's what I'm telling myself, and I hope I am right. But yeah, I'm just adding some lavenders here and there. This corner is the lavender corner, absolutely. I imagine that your sim is walking there and just smelling the lavenders and is feeling absolutely great while they're there. So they can listen to the water flowing maybe, and also just smell the beautiful lavenders, and just also the other plants, of course. And they feel good because they're next to water, because everyone and feels usually great next to water. Well, unless you don't like water, then I guess you don't. But most of the times people like nature and they enjoy such a scenery, I guess. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I want this place to be beautiful. You could even use this place, I just had this idea right now, for like a wedding. You could organize that here. That would be super lovely. Or throw parties here. There is so much gameplay that I can just imagine that can happen here. You can come here to have group hangouts. You can come here with your friends on a date. You can run your own cafe here. You can own this. I actually did do that. I ran my own cafe here. I really enjoyed doing that. It was really fun. And of course, the last, I think it is the last, but I might be wrong, so don't quote me on that, but I'm just trying to say that the last tip is that you should add this brown color right to your ground, so it looks a bit more realistic when you're creating ponds. And now I'm just going in with some lilies, these water lilies. These water lilies are super gorgeous. They also have the ones I added on the right side next to the island have also koi, the fish. I think it's a Japanese fish, but do correct me if I'm wrong. Those really nice orangey white bigger fish. It has that also in live mode. Those swim around, and here I'm just adding also a fountain because I thought it would be super nice to have that, but it was too big, so we're going with the smaller one. But I think it fits really well because it has a similar color. It goes well with the windows, and also it does give me kind of this jungle-y vibes. And I'm just going in with the tables, with the chairs, moving everything around so everything is placed properly. And then I'm also adding more plants here because this place really has to be full with plants. It is the jungle cafe, the cafe that has probably the most foliage ever. Well, in the Sims build, if you don't have any jungly builds placed, of course, then it has to really showcase that it has a lot of plants, right? So that's what's happening here. I'm just adding a couple of more of those white bushes and one of these purple ones also. I think that's going to be changed there. But yeah, soon enough we'll be done with the outdoor area. I believe there is just a little bit of like a touch-up I'm doing to everything here, and soon enough we'll go also inside. So we'll add some palm trees onto the left side as well. I was trying not to cover the building because I want it to be visible. It's really pretty. I want us to see inside, not cover the building actually. And I don't know if it happened to you, but I was a little bit upset because last time, well, not last time, but when I did my artsy build with the Pinterest inspired images, rooms. So rooms that were inspired by Pinterest images, that's what I wanted to say. When I did that, it actually, I built the building on a lot that actually didn't work out that well, because when I uploaded it to the gallery, there was this big palm tree blocking the view. It's a lot from Solani. So that's the moment when I realized that actually there are lots that are blocked by trees. Oh, and by the way, those skeletons that I just placed, those will be changed to like torches, I think. I'm not sure if I included that in the video, but I felt like the skeletons are a bit too much, so that's changed. And also these stones I've added behind the statue. I was thinking that the story is that this place was actually built on real jungle ruins. I don't know how that would work out really. If you have a continuation of the story, do let me know, or like some addition to it. But just basically that's what I was thinking, that it's built on jungle ruins, but I don't know why they had jungle ruins in Tartosa. That's still a mystery, but if you have any ideas, do let me know. And this is just a flower field here, basically. I know it's maybe not that jungly, but I was thinking that it's so pretty and just magical that I had to include it. And also I'm adding these lights. I did test it here to see if the lights are enough, and they look perfect, like really good at night. So I do recommend coming here at night as well to check out the place, because it looks quite romantic and just very, I'm gonna repeat myself, just relaxing. That's what I would say, because that's the truth. And I'm adding here a couple of these. I'm just putting them up a bit, like lifting them up so they stay on the fence properly. And soon enough, now for real, we are going inside. I'm just doing just a few of finishing touches, really, with the ground. I'm just making it all brown below the stairs, because I was thinking that's needed, and also around those flowers. And we'll be going inside, and inside I want to tell you that we'll have just a couple of rooms. So I will have this area here. We'll have a sunroom that we're actually looking at to the it's right in front of us behind that wall. So there will be a sunroom. This is going to be an open like space here where we have the palm trees. So we'll have the kitchen area here, and also kind of like 2 dining areas, and kind of that's it. Other than this, there will be sort of like a smaller room on the side, and I will create a basement downstairs also, with the toilets, and also a little bit of a secret there that you'll see later in this video, what's down in that basement, what's staying hidden there, and hopefully will stay hidden there. So I'm just going in with this kind of really nice pattern. I was looking at reference images on the internet, and I saw that you can create like this cool little pattern with the flooring. So that's what I wanted to do here, to like cut it off somehow. And it's pretty much exactly what I saw on the internet. So this is inspired. So of course it's like not 100% everything. Like I didn't come up 100% with everything. When I create the builds, I am always inspired by art and just lots of reference images, and I try to put it together, and then I also add my own creativity to it. So I create something unique, inspired by lots of other things, as well as other, well, I would say even artists do their art, right? So that's what's happening here. I created here this little spot, and my idea was here that I could add the palm trees and add tables around it. I thought that would be so nice. It gives me kind of like a mall-y feeling, but yeah, it's not a mall, but it's a cafe. But it does give me a mall feel to it, because you have the palm trees, and also you'll have a seating area around it. You usually have that at malls. And here I am trying out just these nice little what are these called, countertops, I think. I'm trying them out if these work, because I wanted to add bar stools around it, but it's not going the way I wanted, because it's taking up way too much space. So I was thinking about using these nice tables, round tables, and that's what I'm exactly doing here. So just adding the round tables, and I will add some chairs around them, and I'll call it a day. That's good enough. And I'm imagining that these tables are actually like sort of built in, so the palm trees were brought in here. These are live palm trees, and so what they did is they somehow added the table around it. And if you look at it, it kind of looks like it, right? Like, can you see it as well? it kind of feels like it is like that. So here I had an idea of adding these plants on the side of it because I was thinking that this could be such a cute little addition. So that's what I exactly did here. And I'm also going in with just a bunch of greenery right there, and I'm trying to just make it look a bit more lighter. And as you can see, it did do something, adding those little saucer lights, but yeah, it's not as light as I would want it to be. As you know, sometimes when you add these plants inside, they might not be that perfect, unfortunately, because many times you might have weird shadows. They're more meant to be placed outdoors, so I think that's what's happening. But I really tried to just lighten it up. And also I'm just placing a bunch of like plants over here. And this is when, well, if you do play Sims, you might know this so well that you really have to save often, because if you don't, well, your game might crash, or yeah, when you want to save, you might not be able to save either, actually, because that's what happened. I actually was saving often, but at this point, when I got to my next save, the game just got stuck on saving and it wouldn't go through. So unfortunately, I lost about, I think, 30 minutes of building, so I had to redo it. So the place might look just a bit different. I did try to recreate it from memory and from looking back at the video, but it might have a certain things that's like super matching. But hey, I try my best. And yeah, I'm actually using a Pomodoro technique. So I'm watching Pomodoros, or watching, more like listening to them. And if you actually don't know what a Pomodoro is, so Pomodoro is a way of like sectioning tasks, or yeah, I think tasks is a good way to explain it. So you actually get to, for example, do more or like study more, and also have proper breaks. And this way you can also stick to your tasks better. So let's say that you are learning a new language and you have 2 hours and you really can't stick to it because, I don't know, you get distracted, right? And if you use the Pomodoro technique, you can actually section that. So it's 2 hours, you can do like 4 half an hours, how about that? And that could be like 25 minutes, about 25 minutes 2 times for 1 hour, and 25 minutes 2 times for the other hour, and the rest of the minutes would be breaks. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, but the Pomodoro technique is great because it allows you to take breaks and you get to have a little mental break. So that's what I started doing while I'm doing these builds, because it gives me a nice reminder to save every 25 minutes. And I also sometimes take like a 5-minute break at least, get a nice little stretch in, because you guys, it's so important to take care of your health, and it's so important to move your body, especially if you sit for like so many hours, because sometimes when I'm building these, I can stay here for like, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours just building and trying to figure out things, and that's really not okay for the back, and I can sometimes really feel that. So I do recommend taking breaks, and do check out the Pomodoro technique. I'll link it down below. Actually, there is this channel on YouTube called Lullablocks. It's this channel that creates Pomodoro technique, Pomodoro videos as well, with cozy music, and you can also just listen to the music. You don't even have to actually follow the Pomodoro videos. You can listen to the music in other videos without the actual Pomodoro timer. So it's a really chill little channel and I recommend it. It's super wholesome if you want to check it out. Anyhow, here I am just adding these light planters. I think that's what they're called. I thought those would be super nice inside. And I'm also adding some more light in the middle. These are just these light trees and I wanted to make it look a bit more interesting. So I'm adding just a couple of them, one bigger and one smaller, but I will actually just go with 2 of them, not 3. Yeah, so there are 2 of those. And here we're adding just more plants. I'm bringing in some more plants and I think I will be done with this part of the cafe soon enough. I'm using these ground flooring element here, the one under the plant, so it looks like it's actually planted in real soil. And I'm also adding these little fences so they're sectioned off nicely, and also adding the plants that you can see outside. I don't think I have added any new plants here. I am bringing in the same vibe that we have outside, also inside. And here I am adding this, guys, is my favorite. I just had this idea. I have not seen this anywhere actually before doing this build. I'm adding these fountains. I might actually have been inspired by actual malls at this point, because I have seen throughout my life many malls, and the malls usually have like water fountains. But yeah, I've added fountains over there because they look super nice. And here it is a bit darker, I'm afraid, than it was on the other side. And I actually did fix this, so when you download this build, and feel free to do so, you can go to my gallery and download it. My gallery is PieCrustGallery, so feel free to visit me there and download all the builds that you like. So I have fixed the lighting here later on, not while I was recording. I couldn't figure out what was wrong, but apparently there is a flooring placed right on top of it, so the light is coming on in from the left side, I think, from that window over there, and actually the sunlight is being blocked. Or I might be wrong if that was what was wrong actually. Also, yeah, I think there is also the roofing. Yeah, I had to fix the roofing, so the roofing above this part was actually one that didn't let the sunlight through, so that's why it's darker here, so I fixed that. And here I am adding one of these cafe parts, and also the boba machine. I think you could call it a boba machine. And I did actually section this part where you can see the trash can and where we have the boba machine. I actually created a half wall and I added a fence, so you can actually ensure that sim that are actually customers cannot access this. You can just allow employees only, because I was playing here and I was like, mind you, what are you doing in my kitchen? Please, customers, stay outside until I serve you. Thank you very much. So yeah, that happened. I had customers visiting me behind the counter and I could not really go with that anymore, so I said I have to section this properly. So yeah, you won't see that right now, but I did fix that later on. And here I'm just playing around with the pillars. Literally, I had nothing planned out here. I kind of freestyled this part, other than the cafe, where the cafe is placed, the coffee machine, I mean, the one with the big counter on the right and the boba machine on the left. Other than having that kind of planned out in my head, and also having the counter set up planned out with the stove and those things with dishwasher and all those, I just had kind of a vague idea of what I wanted to do. And I had a lot of fun actually doing this. This was super fun. I really enjoyed it. So I'm just still finishing up these pillars, and once I'm done with this area, I'll still have a bit of work on the hallway, sort of. The hallway connecting the sunroom and this space, so we'll be going right there soon enough, but just adding a couple of more plants here, and then we'll be right there. And I did have to move these plants because otherwise the sim just couldn't use those, whatever those are called, registers. I'm not sure what those are called at the entrance. I just can't remember right now. And I'm adding the waffle maker also here because I was thinking you can also sell like baked goods. I did sell here cake and waffles when I was playing. I had a lot of fun with it, and yeah. So here I am in the hallway, as I mentioned, and I'm just adding a couple of seating spots here. I was thinking that maybe some sim would prefer sitting on these kind of like benches, so I did that. I really love these benches, and I have actually used them before as well. They are very, very pretty. And I'm just adding an open book there. So I was thinking that maybe one of the sim was actually reading a book, so I placed that there. And just a lot of little plants, and in the back I added this vine that, or like ivy, that's going up. I'm not sure what it's called, either vine or ivy. I think you can just say both. And yeah, I'm just trying to add that as well to make it a bit more green, even more than it was before. And I wanted to cover it also with other vines, but I didn't do that because I wanted to actually have the windows more open, so that didn't happen. And here I am on the other side. Now we'll be doing this side right here, and I'll be adding a couple of just chairs and just a bit of a seating area situation here. And that's basically it. It's not going to be anything really like a very big deal because we don't have that much space. However, I think that I did quite well with this small space. And by the way, I had to fix this when I tested this, because I do test my builds after they're done. So I make sure that you can play with it as well. And sorry if I miss anything, if I do ever miss anything, sorry about that. I did notice that I cannot pull out the chairs actually because they're too close, so the sim couldn't sit down on the chairs that are right next to each other. So I think I ended up using less. I think I just deleted a couple of them, and I just made the space a bit more like smaller. It has a bit less seating spot here, but I did add something like another sofa or something, I'm not sure. Anyhow, I am just bringing in more of these lights. And have you used these lights before? These ones from, I think it's called the Blooming Rooms kit. They have this nice little light with like the planters, with water planters. They're so cute. Because I have not used them, I actually didn't really like them, but the more I used them in this build, I got quite fond of them. So I'm here just adding one of these planter situations on the side, and I downloaded these pieces of art from the gallery, but I did not end up using them. You will see them in this build, but I have actually deleted them because they're very bright neon green, and I just realized after I was done that somehow it's breaking the color scheme of the room. They are really pretty, but not for this build, so I have actually deleted them. And I also deleted this wall and added kind of like a fancier fence situation. So you'll see that too, because I wanted to open it up kind of, because this area I wanted to be more opened up with the other ones, so I did modify that. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty much the same. And also I'm just going in here and adding a couple of more seating areas, because I do think that cafes are great when they have also comfy seating. Like, they do have tables with the regular chairs, but you also have these little sofas or love seats with the little couches on the side and the little tables. Those are like such amazing little reading nooks for people. Or just imagine that you're there with your best friend and you can have your favorite drink there and just look at the pond outside. It's just so magical. I just really want to go there. I wish this place was real. If you guys do know a place that's similar to this, do let me know in the comments down below, so I can look at it and probably just shed a tear because I'm not right there right now, but I would love to see it. So I'm just going in with some of these little fairy lights because they are adorable. And I'm also adding these lights with the plant. And here I downloaded more art from the gallery. As you can see, I have added these jungle images. They are so beautiful. So I wanted to add a couple of them. And here we'll have also our stairs going downstairs. And this is the place I actually mentioned that I added some more seating. So I won't do that right now, but I have actually done it after the build was done because I had to delete some of the seating. As I said, I did add more here. And yeah, we'll have the stairs here. I also added some of that little ruin here because I thought that maybe they just brought in some when they built this place also to just keep it and just make it look kind of cool. They were trying at least to make it look cool. And yeah, those images were a bit too large, I think. I wish there was like a way to make it just in between, not too large, not too small, you know. And yeah, there's this also this carpet that I had such a hard time picking up. Honestly, you won't see me struggle that much here, but trust me when I say that sometimes just I can't pick up the carpets and I don't know why. So yeah, that's what I was doing there. Oh right, I thought we were going down to the basement. Sorry about that. I totally forgot about the sunroom. And actually, while I was working on this, I also forgot about the sunroom right then. So no wonders I forgot about it again. So we're in the sunroom and then we'll go down the basement. And that's going to be it, basically the build. So I'm just adding some plants here because I wanted to have these lovely little plants. I have not used these before, but I thought this would fit the vibe basically and would make the build just wholesome with the little white flowers. And I was also thinking about adding here these stairs. I wanted to go downstairs and I wanted it to be this deep actually, but I kept on losing more and more light the deeper I was going, so I didn't go that way. But yeah, I'm just decorating this place and it's going to be just tables basically and just seating area. So you could really, now that I'm thinking about it, you could really have a wedding here because there's just a ton of space, honestly. So also it's very aired, the room here, because I use these windows. I don't know if you noticed, but they're open and I think that's so cool. I really like airing my room in general because the fresh air is really awesome. It just instantly makes me feel like I'm just fine. My mood is lifted. Yeah, I recommend trying it out if you have the chance. If there's like a road right next to your window, then it's not the best. Maybe you have noise or maybe just a lot of like smell from the cars that's not too pleasant. So I do understand you can't always open the window. I have been in that situation as well before. So, but if you can, I do recommend it. It's very nice, especially when birds are singing. If there are any birds, it's very peaceful. I love it. So here I am just trying to figure out how to do this, and as you can see, I again made a mistake. I added the plant right in front of behind, not in front, behind the chair, and you cannot pull out the chairs with your sim, so you can't sit down. So I will have to actually fix that, and I will fix that if it's not recorded, just so you know. I have fixed that, so no worries about that. I think I did send in a sim and I tested a couple of things in the meantime as well, but I'm not sure about that anymore. Anyhow, more of these lights are coming in, and yeah, basically some of the torches as well. I love these torches so much. They are very beautiful. If you play in live mode, you have the fire actually coming out of it. It's really cool. I love it. And also I added these candles. I was a bit afraid that it would be a fire hazard actually. From what I remember, I placed a fire alarm in the kitchen. I don't have one here probably. Not sure about that. Hopefully I'll fix that by the time this video is up. So we have one here as well, and actually I'll probably need to add one to every single room just in case, because you just don't know when the trouble comes in Sims, because fire and Sims and candles. And yeah, I don't think that's a good idea to start off your business with just the fire happening right away. And here I am adding these partitioners. Is that what they're called? I'm adding them to kind of section the place, you know, and sort of was trying to create a more cozier feel of vibe for just the people that are sitting on the sofas, and compared to the other people that are sitting on the chairs. And I'm already downstairs, I know. I just wanted to still explain this. I'm here in the basement, and I already created the toilet because I just didn't want to actually show that really, because it's just the toilet and there's really nothing special about that. It's a sink, a toilet, and toilet paper, I think, and a mirror and some kind of a plant on the side, just to bring in a bit of the jungle vibe. So that's what I did. And I'm just adding a couple of mirrors here, and mirrors are great in small spaces. That's why we have mirrors in elevators, because when you do that, you actually make the space look bigger. So that's why they use it in elevators, because people get usually uneasy, I would say, in elevators because it's a small space. So it's a great way to kind of trick the brain that the space is larger. So that's what I was trying to do here. It actually makes me feel at peace when I look at it. And here is our last room. As you can see, our little secret is that we are actually growing a cow plant down in the basement. And this will be the last room we're decorating, and the video is going to be nearing its end. So I'm just building here these kind of like curtains, kind of like trying to hide what's behind it. And here is also the workstation, and you know, just I'm adding here the pots and just fertilizer and more pots and more pots and pots on pots. So you'll have like just a lot of this clutter that you can find in like maybe botanical gardens, or just people or like sim would use when they are planting plants. Basically that is it. Basically that's all. So I'm just adding all these things right here, making it look like someone has been working here and giving their all to just work on the plants. And you'd think they are using this space for the upstairs plants, the plants that are upstairs, but they are using this space for the secret cow plant here, trying to keep it alive. I'm not sure now if you can actually keep the plant alive in the basement, because as soon as I ran the game, I'm so sorry about that, the cow plant died. It literally transformed in this skeleton cow plant. This video is going to end soon, so I just want to thank you for staying here and watching for this long. Stay healthy, eat well, and do take some time for yourself because you deserve it. Feel free to like and subscribe, it does help me out a lot, and see you in the next one.